Tastes good?
Almost as good as my success. It's not easy being the best podcaster in the city. This is the 10th episode. Very special episode. Very fancy episode with some of the fanciest people. It's going to be featuring a beautiful girlfriend and the best podcast editor in the city. So, without further ado, let's talk about some classy shit. It's been a long time coming. We're here. Episode 10. wpgclark podcast. With the one and only, the backbone to the show, the woman behind it all, my beautiful girlfriend, Nona.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Actually, before we go on, congratulations on your 10th episode.
Thank
I'm
you.
super proud of you, and you know I'm your number one fan. But also, I have something for you. For your 10th episode.
Uh-oh.
I knew you were going to say that. But to keep up with our fancy vibes.
Ooh, what the fuck? This is unplanned.
This
by the
was
way.
unplanned. I bought this on Friday.
Ooh. Ooh, what's that?
We're keeping
What's
it
that?
fancy.
Man, we're hella fancy. We got the cigars out. We got the goose out. The goose is loose. The goose is fucking loose.
And don't blame me for my juice.
So, since we're fancy, I'm gonna take a straight bottle shot, and I want you to tell the people who you are.
My name is Nona, and I'm a video editor, and I do other stuff too. Like social media management, sometimes I'm a YouTuber, and I own a sunglasses shop called Solas. And also, I'm a Jonas Brothers fan.
How long have you been a fan of the Jonas Brothers?
Ever since I was like grade 9.
Yeah. But taking it way back, why don't you tell the people where you're from and what your childhood was like? What was your upbringing like?
I'm Filipino. I was born in the Philippines, but every time I say that, people don't really believe me because they say I have almost to none accent. I have no accent at all. But I grew up in the Philippines. It was pretty good. I was very blessed. I was very lucky because my family was they gave us everything we wanted. I don't want to sound but that's just how it is. I was very lucky growing up. We had all the help we needed, people to cook food, people to do chores, and yeah, honestly, if you ask me about my childhood, that's really the only thing that I remember, because life here is so different compared to when I was living in the Philippines.
How did your family get the means to provide that for you? Who are your parents and stuff?
Well, my dad is actually a musician. They were pretty big in the 90s.
Okay.
And then my mom is just a stay-at-home mom, but shout out to her. Not everybody can do it.
Hey, big shout out.
A big shout out to stay-at-home moms. But they owned a taxi business. They pretty much adventured into different business stuff.
Okay.
And they were very lucky with it. Hardworking people.
So you grew up kind of surrounded by music. What was that like?
It was really good, actually. I still remember going to my dad's shows, and it was really fun. And it was very weird because their shows, even though they don't make heavy rock music, everybody in the shows would still be bumping into each other and stuff. And of course, during those times, I was 7, so seeing the crowd being that was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, it definitely would be interesting growing up seeing that around you. What were your first hobbies and stuff growing up?
Growing up, I didn't really have anything that I kind of wanted. I'm talking about middle school time of middle school ages. I feel that was a time that I was really getting to know myself, and I didn't really stick to one thing. Like, I did gymnastics for a while, and then I figured out I didn't like that, and then I did volleyball. I like volleyball, but it was not until high school where I, like, kind of discovered filmmaking and YouTube and stuff like that, and making videos.
When did you first get into that? What was it that kind of sparked your interest in being a content creator and making videos?
I still have the original video, and I will, like, put it here somewhere, but me and my friends were hanging out at home, and we made, like, a parody commercial to, like, a shampoo commercial, and that's kind of when, like, everything started, because we posted it on Facebook, and we pretty much became, like, popular in school because of it, because of how stupid it was.
Yeah.
We went into school, and everybody was just like, oh my god, I saw that, like, commercial you guys did, and that's kind of, like, and everybody asked, like, who edited it, and I was just like, it's stupid. If I rewatch it now, like, anybody can do it, but at that time, everyone was just like, wow, that was, like, really good, like, you should continue doing that. But yeah,
this was in middle school?
This was in grade 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, what was it that kind of kept you going? Where did you go after making that first video?
Well, I didn't discover YouTube yet. It's really funny because, like, I've always wanted to be, like, a YouTuber. I was, like, watching Smosh, watching everything, but I was, like, I was always scared specifically that if I started making videos online, that this is funny and might not sound unrelated, but the internet in the Philippines is really bad. So my number one fear was if I started posting videos online, like, while somebody would be watching it, it, like, glitches out and it pauses onto my face, like, very weirdly.
So, who were your first favorite, like, YouTubers and stuff like that you found?
The reason why I became a YouTuber is because of this girl named Andrea Russet. And then pretty much all, like, her friend group became, like, my favorite set of YouTubers.
Okay.
Like Gen X Pen, then Kian. But then I discovered British YouTubers, and that was, like, I was all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who were your influences, like, with music and movies and stuff like that?
Okay, if we're still talking about when I was in high school, I was a huge One Direction fan. And that's, like, the only thing people, like, know me for, because I was, like, that One Direction fan.
Yeah. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? Like, you were running a fan club?
Yes, I was. Actually, I was running a fan club, and, like, the community for, like, the 1D fans were, like, very, I wouldn't say small, but it's very, like, communal, I guess. Like,
very tight-knit circle.
Yes, exactly. So I started my fan page for One Direction, and then people kind of, like, knew me. Like, I'm the girl who run that fan page, and then I kind of became famous, and then people started to kind of, like, they wanted to know who I was. Okay. And that's when I started doing YouTube.
To kind of show the other side of the One Direction girl.
Yeah. And, like, even when I was, like, starting my YouTube, I didn't want people to know me only as that One Direction girl.
Yeah.
So they, like, on my 1D fan page, they knew me as that One Direction girl, but I didn't really like making One Direction type of videos on my YouTube. But my best performing ones were the ones about One Direction to this day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many videos have you put out and stuff like that under your YouTube?
Oh, there's a lot, but most of them are, like, private now, but I think I still have, like, 20 in there.
Okay.
Yeah, because, like, I feel like as a video editor as well, when I rewatch my stuff, like, the following year, where I feel like I'm better, and then I, like, look at my old stuff, they just, like, look so horrible. So I, like, you know, I don't really have a problem, like, with me, but it's just how I edit stuff I wouldn't like anymore.
Yeah.
And then they would be private.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I would check them the following year and rewatch the ones that I privated, and I was like, that was actually pretty good for my age. And then it becomes unprivate again.
Yeah.
But well, yeah, it's just a cycle.
It's just like everybody's, like, standards are always changing and everything like that, and what they want to do, like, for their image and everything, so.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm, like, always, I kind of knew that getting into this, that it's also, like, a responsibility that if I do become like famous, that I want to have a good image to start with. Like it's always like been in the back of my head.
Okay.
But yeah.
What would you say is your most significant like video or piece that you've ever made?
View wise?
Anything. What do you feel is your best work?
Well, I think the music video that I made like with my family.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. What was that like?
That one was really fun because like everybody like took it very seriously. We had call times. It was like honestly almost like a professional production.
Yeah.
And like my auntie was part of it, and that girl is a doctor, but she was like down. She was like ready to be on camera acting and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was really, really fun. It took us almost like 3 weeks to film. We had a call time after school, like go to Nona's house, and then we prep our lines and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it was just like, oh, I miss that. It was really fun. We tried to recreate it the following year because we were doing the pop anthology ones, like the mashups, like the yearly mashups. And I think the one we made was 2012. And then when the 2013 came out, we really wanted to redo it again, but everyone was just like too busy, and like they've grown up within a year, and nobody was like really down to do it anymore, which was kind of sad, but
yeah,
it was still fun.
How do you feel about Disney and stuff like that? You're a big Disney fan?
Yes.
When did you first discover your love for Disney, I guess you could say?
It's really weird because like I feel like Disney fans are they're all very different. Like if you say like you're a Disney fan, it's like what type of Disney fan? Are you like a movie? Are you like this? Are you like that? I honestly am very specific. I am a Disney Parks fan.
Okay.
I still watch the Disney movies, and I'm like very much like I know everything, but I'm a Disney Parks fan. Like I love those amusement parks, and they're just my life.
What was your first time going to a Disney park?
It was in Hong Kong. I think I was 13. I'm pretty sure it was my brother's 7th birthday, so let's just say I was 13.
What was that experience like?
I can't honestly remember the first time. The only thing I remember was like there's like this hallway going into like the actual entrance of the park, and you could hear like the Disney music in Mandarin, but I was like trying my best not to cry. It was just super emotional, and you know, you were just like, you could feel the magic.
Oh, okay.
But I still cried, and my mom like looked at me and she was just like, what's wrong? And I'm like, it's just bright.
Yeah. What were your favorite like rides and stuff like that? Do you remember?
For Disneyland in Hong Kong, I don't know. It's been so. Oh, actually, I know exactly. It's in Toy Story World. It's called like a parachute drop. Basically, it's like those green soldiers. It's like a drop type of like ride.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but like it's outdoor and stuff. And it's just really cool. They didn't have that in the Toy Story Land in Disney World.
Yeah.
So I think that would be my favorite one, even though I was like scared shitless when I wrote it.
How old were you when you first went to Disney World?
I was 20. I'm pretty sure, because I wanted to have my first legal drink in the States, but I wasn't old enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 20.
So where all have you been Disney related?
Only Hong Kong Disneyland and Disney World.
Yeah.
2 for both. 2 times for both.
What was your favorite experience out of the 2 parks?
I think it's just like the feeling of being there.
Yeah.
You know? That's always my favorite experience. It's just like being there and just being genuinely happy, and like you have no worries in the world, because every single time I've went to Disney, even though I know exactly what to expect, I still end up crying.
Yeah.
Every single time.
What's your like favorite part about the Disney parks?
Honestly, people would probably say the rides, but mine are the night shows.
Okay.
That's just like a different. Night shows are so good.
Well, why don't you talk about those? What exactly is a Disney night show?
Disney Night Show is like, it depends per park you're going to. I'm specifically talking about the one in Disney World. They could be like fireworks show. They could just be a light show. They could be a parade. It always differs. But my favorite one is the one in Magic Kingdom, right where the castle is. It's like a 20-minute fireworks show.
Okay.
20 minutes of just fireworks.
Going back to music and stuff like that. So who were like your musical influences as a whole growing up?
A lot of Filipino music, I would say. Like, my dad's band really played a lot. And I guess for other type of music, I always, when I hear these type of music, I always correlate them to our old Red Pajero. It's like music like Africa by Toto.
Okay.
That's one of, like, when I hear that, I always remember, like, sitting in that car. And there's a lot of music, too, that I just, like, can't remember anymore because they're usually, like, those one-hit wonders from the 80s.
Okay,
you know? You don't really know them anymore, or you don't even know who sang those songs. You just know them by the song.
Yeah, you just know, like, as soon as the song comes on, it, like,
yeah. So I would say,
yeah.
I would say, like, a lot of, like, those 80s music where you, like, just listen to once and then it's kind of, like, done.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah. And one specifically is Linkin Park because my dad, that was like the only type of rock band that my dad was like okay for me hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the rest, like, is just pretty much Filipino music and nobody will know Filipino music.
Who are you really listening to nowadays? Who are your favorites?
Nowadays, a lot of, like, I'm trying to, like, discover more music through TikTok, actually.
Okay.
Like, TikTok is really good. But people know me for Jonas Brothers and Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
You also are a big fan of Queen?
Yeah.
What was it that got you onto them?
I was already pretty much a fan, but getting to know who they were because of the movie Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
That's when I got kind of curious as to, like, who they really were as people.
Yeah.
Or, like, as a band.
Okay.
And then I got, like, really into it.
Do you have any, like, favorite songs?
Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. That would always be, like, my favorite.
Yeah.
It's better than anything that is, like, mainstream. It's that. It's really that. Or Don't Stop Me Now for something that's mainstream.
Yeah.
But Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy is, like, I don't know why people don't know about that song.
Yeah.
It just sounds freaking awesome.
Very true. What about, like, for visuals? What are some of your favorite, like, movies growing up?
If Guillermo was here, he would be like, you have the worst taste in movies, which he always says, which I feel like is kind of true now. But, like, growing up, honestly, I didn't really have an inspiration, but I knew that I specifically only liked horror movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were some of your favorites?
The Ring, The Grudge. Like, I like actual scary movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard nowadays because there's not a lot of that is, like, actually scary. But growing up, I would say a lot of Asian horror movies.
Okay.
Yeah. But nowadays, The Conjuring, what's his name? I can't remember his name anymore, but he's the one who directed, I think, Insidious. Man, I can't remember his name. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll look it up and I'll put it here, you know? I don't even have to remember.
Very true.
Yeah.
What about TV shows? What are some of your favorite TV shows?
Wait, I remember James Wan. That's who it is.
Okay.
James Wan. I had to remember, then, like, people won't, like, trust in me as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's James Wan, people.
But yeah, for television then, what are some of your favorite TV shows?
The Office, 100%. There's a new one on Netflix. Well, I guess it's not new anymore, but I think it's, like, called The Haunting. It's like a show about, like, I don't know, like, these sisters fighting about, like, honestly, I can't remember, but it's a haunting of something.
Hill House?
Yes, that's the one. And they're coming out with a new season, so that one was really good too. And not really a lot that I'm watching right now.
Yeah.
But I used to love, like, The Walking Dead. Was a freaking huge fan of The Walking Dead. Supernatural. I really, really love Supernatural. Oh, I used to love, like, stupid shows like Riverdale.
Oh, yeah, right when they came out.
Yeah. It was good when it came out, but then it just became not so good.
Yeah, slowly watching it, its progress over time. I watched it a little bit when it first came out, but yeah, it just after just a couple episodes, you start to see its decline.
Yeah, the season where, like, they were playing, like, a fake version of Dungeons & Dragons, and, like,
Yeah.
that one was, like, I was like, this is the end. Like, I'm not watching this shit anymore.
Yeah. What's your whole, like, work life been and stuff so far? What kind of jobs have you had?
I only started working when I came to Canada. My first actual job was actually a video editor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was on those freelance work thingy majiggies, and then I got a job for this US teacher, online lady, whatever, you know, those people. Like, she helps people do social media online.
Okay.
Yeah. So I edited, like, her courses and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, you don't know her name, so I can say this, but apparently her husband, sorry, I'm not laughing because of it, I just laugh when I'm nervous, but her husband lost his job, and then she couldn't do that stuff anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so I had to actually find a real job. So I started working at Save On Foods while I was living in my dorm.
What was that like?
It was not good. Sorry, Save On Foods.
What were you doing when you were there?
I was a deli person.
Slicing meat?
Yes, I like to slice some meat.
What was your favorite cold cut?
Just slice ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any particular reason?
Because it was satisfying, and it's always so easy to slice.
Yeah.
Like corned beef and stuff like that. Especially when it's like new is the worst time to like freaking slice it, because you like slice so much before you can actually slice nicely, which is sometimes good because I eat them.
Yeah.
But nobody's looking.
What's your favorite cold cut to eat?
Corned beef.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny too, because where I grew up, corned beef came from a can. So
Yeah.
when I started working at Save On Foods, I just moved to Canada-ish, and like, you know, you see it and it says corned beef, and I'm like, this ain't the corned beef I know.
Yeah.
I know corned beef in a can, which kind of sounds sad, but corned beef in a can is good.
Hey, different strokes for different folks. Where did you go after Save On?
I started working at a shoe store. I probably shouldn't say the name. I'm not going to say the name, but if you know me, you probably already know where it was. But I started working for a shoe store.
And what was it like being like a sales lady?
Oh, I freaking loved it.
Yeah.
I sold so many shoes, and that's because I'm pretty.
Very pretty.
No,
Well-
I'm kidding. No, it was just like super fun because I get to be working as a salesperson was very good for my mental health and like becoming more what's the word? More confident, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I specifically loved working there, because even the people I worked with, they were nice people. They genuinely loved their job. It was never like it was never a bad space to work in.
It was always a great environment.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. You definitely made some great friends out of working there too.
Yeah.
Amazing ones that I've met.
Yeah, shout out Miss D, Steve.
Shout out Steve.
Yeah, shout out Steve. But yeah, well, I guess Aaron. Don't talk a lot anymore, but I love you, Aaron.
What did you start doing after working at the shoe store?
I worked at Canadian Tire. Shout out Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what do you think about working there?
It was honestly fine. I've met a lot of creepy people, which like, ooh, I don't even know if I could say it on this podcast, but a lot of creeps that, I don't know, they don't have any women in their life, so they go to Canadian Tire and like check out all the women we have in there.
Yeah.
It's like weird, but I still loved working there because I met my best friends.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to give some shout outs to your best friends?
Hi Bree, hi Kate, I love you guys.
What was it like working with them, meeting them?
It was really funny, actually. Oh, and Julia. Sorry, Julia. But I was in the locker room and I was contemplating that time if I should go to like our annual Christmas party. And then I think it was Julia and Brianna in the locker room and they were talking about like who's gonna give who a ride. And then I just like was, hey, can I come and join? And they were like, yeah. And we're going to like 441 after. And I was like, sure, I've never been to a club before, so here we go. And then that's the beginning of our friendship. It was a good one. And it is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staying on the track of work, though, after CT, what did you start doing?
Then I became a full-time video editor.
And that's your current occupation that you love?
Yes, that is my current occupation. And my passion.
Yeah, how did you feel kind of getting like the quote-unquote dream job that you were looking for?
Well, it was really funny because I still remember exactly how I got that job. So I was in film class and we were like watching a film and I literally was like sitting there. And at this time I was contemplating if I should like continue studying to become a social worker.
Okay.
Because I was kind of getting discouraged and I didn't think I could like get a job within the industry or like something like, you know, related to it.
Yeah.
So I was sitting in film class, I remember. I was like, like, I'm not gonna become anything. And I just went on like a job site and like searched up video editor. And I've been doing this for like months now, trying to find a video editing job. And like I knew that nothing was gonna like pop up, but there it did. One popped up. So I applied for it and I was hired by the end of the day, actually, that same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And has it been a successful company in your opinion?
Yes, actually.
Yeah. And then now taking it back, you were talking about going to 441 with your CT girls for the first time. What was that like?
It was very weird. I remember the first thing I thought going into a club was like, everyone was freaking nice.
Okay.
You know? Like, even the guys were all nice. They weren't, like, touchy at all, which, like, you know, I've never been to a club. So the only, like, my only expectation was, like, from the movies where your freaking butt gets grabbed in the middle of the dance floor. But no, everybody was nice. And, like, I wasn't single at that time. So when somebody tried to come near me, and I would specifically say, like, no, they're like, respectful of it.
Okay.
Everyone was just like, okay, I'm sorry. And I thought that was, like, really weird, but good, you know?
Yeah,
it was
for
good,
sure.
But really, it's just, like, I just really didn't think it would be like that.
What did you think about, like, the whole venue and the building of 441?
Oh, yeah, now I remember. Since they're closed now, I can say this, but it was very packed. I thought it was cool. They had, like, a second floor, which was cool. But I also remember there was, like, this weird guy on the second floor pole dancing on the table. But
okay.
it was an okay atmosphere.
Yeah.
It kind of felt a little bit more like higher endy than the other clubs in Winnipeg. So it was pretty cool. It was generally a fine place, you know, very different than the rest.
Yeah, very true. Where did your like party life kind of go after that? Did you go and check out some of the other clubs in the city?
Oh yeah, 2019 was like so much fun. I've never been like a party girl because like growing up I was so busy with the 1D stuff because it actually became like a pretty much a job for me, and that's like where all my priorities went. So when I met my CT girls, they actually like showed me fun stuff to do around the city.
Okay, yeah.
Which means I was drunk every weekend, but I'm still drunk every weekend, but just now at home, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty much drunk every weekend at a club back in 2019.
And what were some of your favorite clubs to go to?
I would say my favorite would always be OV.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody, it's weird there, but it just felt like a club. Is that weird to say? I don't know, I just feel like that's a club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some like crazy nights you can remember from OV or anywhere in the city that you had a lot of fun and enjoyed?
Well, the first time I went to a club at 441, me and my girls are dancing in the middle, and then we became like in the middle of a freaking fist fight.
Okay.
Oh, so I got punched in the head that night. But then I was like, met a nice lady there about like my age, and she was super cute. She was super nice. We actually became friends after it, but like we danced and stuff, and then we kind of like went our own ways. And before I went home, lights turn on, everything like that. I just see all the way from the other side of the freaking club the same girl, and she was just like, "Hey, you! Wait!" And then she comes up to me and was just like, "I just wanted to know if you're single or not."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Oh, sorry, no." But we became friends. She like asked for my Snapchat and stuff. She was super respectful about it. And yeah, that's one of them. And then the other one actually was in Citizen. This wasn't a good one, but like a guy grabbed my friend's boobs, like just out of nowhere. And we were in a circle. And like he excused himself
Was
to
it
kind
like
of
a
walk.
hey?
Oh,
Like...
he literally was like, and then started walking. It was like,
Weird.
that was my first time to see like that happening in a club. But yeah. Oh, well, actually, that same night though was the night I met Hope. And after that, we became like really good friends, and it was super funny because the reason we became friends was like I saw her as I was walking into the bathroom because I was like super, super drunk with Julia, and me and Julia together, you have a good night right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, Julia was pulling me into the bathroom, and then I saw Hope walking, and I was like, "You're pretty." And then she was like, oh, that's so nice of you. And then we became friends.
Yeah.
And to this day, we're friends.
What are some of your favorite things to do with the girls when you guys are all hanging out and doing things?
My favorite would always be leaving the club early and then getting more drunk at a playground somewhere. That was like our number one go-to thing every time after the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's this one special memory that would always be like very heartwarming. We were at Caitlin's house after like a long night, and we were all like sleeping in her bed, and it was so funny because I guess just so much heat was under that blanket that I think it was Julia who tried to like sit down and like move, and she freaking like pulled the blanket up, and you felt the heat go onto your face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was just like, and then all of us just started laughing, and it was just super. It was one of those like sweet moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all so drunk, and we would just like all look at each other and be like, "I love you guys. I love you guys."
So kind of changing subjects and stuff. Why don't you kind of tell people about Solas? What is Solas?
Solas is my sunglass brand.
And how did that start up?
Well, that business actually was supposed to be with me and Daphne, my good best friend Daphne. But she kind of just like thought that it wasn't for her, which was fine. She was very respectful about it and stuff like that. So I was already hyped on the idea.
Yeah.
And I've like planned it in my head like perfectly already. So I was just like, I'm just going to do it by myself. And then I did it. It was the same year actually that I went to Disney World. So I had to like kind of, I guess I need to stop for a bit because I did like all the delivery. I did all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just bought I brought a bunch of sunglasses with me when I went to Disney and just took photos for the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And like would reserve the sunglasses whenever somebody wanted them. By the time I went home to Winnipeg, my first ever launch was sold out.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like a crazy experience because I never thought that it would actually be that big.
Yeah.
Or like that people would care, I guess.
Okay.
But like the first launch went really well, and that's kind of my confirmation that I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do this, and it could be successful. And yeah.
What exactly is Solas to you?
My baby, kind of. Like growing up, I've always wanted to be like a business owner, I guess, an entrepreneur, because I grew up with, my parents had their own business, my grandparents had their own business.
Yeah.
And not that I'm saying you need a business to call yourself successful, but that was just kind of like one of the meaning of success to me is to be able to work for yourself.
And
I
have kind
guess.
of that like entrepreneurial mindset.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I just wanted something that's like mine.
Yeah.
So it really is my baby. Like I love it, and sometimes I wish I had more time being able to do it. But video editing is also my life, so that's
Yeah.
also kind of my other own business. So it's like hard to balance both of them.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
What do you want to see for the future of Solas?
Actually, ever since like you started your podcast and all like your friends started to wear it and stuff like that, I kind of want Solas to be like for everybody. Like
Yeah.
if people hear Solas, I want them to be like, this is for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess that's what I really wanted.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be seen in a lot of like local music
Yeah.
videos that are gonna be coming out. It's been seen on local influencers, and it's definitely growing like as a brand and stuff like that.
Yeah, Solas has already been in 2 music videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one with Steve's brother, Brian, and then this guy called the Becta, I think. So shout out to those people.
And then we're gonna be having YK in one of his next videos wearing them, and probably some of the Lost Souls guys.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I guess that's also like what I want Solas to be, or like how am I gonna word this? I just like seeing Solas in that kind of stuff, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. You want to see it being used in a creative process.
Yes.
And in a
Yes.
creative way.
That's exactly it. I just couldn't say it.
You want to blow Solas up more to be more than just sunglasses?
Yeah.
What all are you trying to do with the brand?
Well, specifically for my next launch, here's a little teaser. I want to gather up like creative people, innovators. I want to gather up some local innovators. That's the biggest hint right there. Innovators. And I want them to kind of represent Solas.
Okay.
Yeah. Sneak peek.
And what exactly do you want to like draw from that, saying that or that Solas has no like creative boundary kind of
Pretty
thing?
much, yeah. And like, I know, like, you can shine bright with Solas, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
While looking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want like people with podcasts.
Yeah.
People who sing, people who rap, people who dance, people who do skateboarding, like everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody could be in it.
Okay. And where do you see like yourself with business in the future? Like, do you want to kind of just have yourself as a brand for doing editing and stuff like that? Like, what do you really want to do?
Well, it's hard to say right now. I don't even think I've thought about that much. But personally, I want to be known as like a video editor, I guess, and a YouTuber once I have time for it.
Yeah.
But I still want people to know that I own Solas, I guess.
Okay.
But Solas doesn't need to have me representing it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I want like my customers to represent Solas.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way that I can say it.
Solas is for the people.
Exactly. Because I know brands that, you kind of see more of like the people the person that's behind it. I see brands sometimes that it's just like you see the owner and that's it, which is not bad. But like my priority is like showcasing my customers.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Is there anybody that you like want to give a shout out to for like teaching you kind of certain things and showing you different things with your whole creative process that have like benefited you?
Well, I'd want a big shout out to Pinterest. Without Pinterest, I probably would have like zero my brand would no. Well, technically my brand is still all over the place, but it's getting better, I guess. But other than that, shout out to you for being now part of it.
Thank you.
And Guillermo for 1013. 1013 is the official photographer for Solas.
And they definitely do amazing work.
They
What was
do.
your experience like having them do that first shoot?
Yeah, the shoot was really, really fun. Like,
Yeah.
it was kind of awkward at first because, like, that's my coworker taking my pictures.
Yeah.
My coworker and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just wanted people to have fun. Really, like, I didn't want people to feel like they were modeling. I just wanted it to have fun. And that's why for the next shoot, I want people in their natural element.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to think, like, oh my, this is a photo shoot, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, that's how our first photo shoot went. It's just, like, you guys were drinking beer.
Yeah, we
and,
were
like,
just kind of hanging out.
Exactly.
And it was all friends, like, all together, so.
Exactly.
No,
So,
it was definitely a great time.
yeah, it was really, really fun. And that place, Beyond Boundaries, shout out to them.
Yeah, big shout out them.
Yeah, because we only, like, rented one part of it, but the girl was so nice. She was just like, but you can use any of the props. So we had, like, those school chairs, those old school school chairs. Those were, like, super cool. The photos for that turned out amazing. And then we had, like, a rose from a different, like, set with, like, a bed and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was good too. She was so nice. Like, shout out to her. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna book that place again for, like, our photo shoot.
Yep.
Because they opened up with, like, this new retro themed room.
Okay.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, they always have their themed sections constantly changing.
Yeah, every year I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or every 6 months.
Is there anybody else you want to really give shout outs to? Any family members, friends, anything like that?
Just anybody who bought the sunglasses, honestly. Like, shout out to you guys. Like, most of my customers are very, very loyal ones.
Yeah.
Like, I would still see the same people ordering, like, the next
Yeah,
launch.
coming
or
back.
Like, yeah, it's just, like, shout out to them. There's too many, and I don't want to miss anybody out, but I guess, okay, I have to. But Tegan was a very, very huge part of Solas. So supportive. Like, that girl is such a gorgeous girl, like, on the inside and out. Like, she didn't know me.
Yeah.
Like, my friend just recommended her to me as, like, a model.
Okay.
Yeah. But she became, like, way more than that. She was just, honestly, the most loyal person that I've had growing Solas.
Yeah.
She was just, like, amazing. And now we've grown kind of, like, a little bit bigger in our influencer sides. Like, Dallin, Ainsley. Ainsley is in Germany, but she is still posting Solas.
That's
stuff.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
Solas worldwide.
Yeah. And then Gabby as well. She went on a Europe trip. The pictures that she gave me, fabulous. That's all I can say. Like, Solas by the Eiffel Tower, Solas by this, Solas by that.
Oh, okay.
It was just, like, freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So I, like, thank all those girls. I'm sorry if I'm missing out, but, like, thank you to everybody. Like,
Yeah.
they're just so supportive and loyal. So I love that.
Very much so.
I'm very lucky with, like, that portion of the business, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any knowledge or any, like, kind words you'd want to say to anybody watching that kind of wants to embark on a entrepreneurial journey or a creative journey and they don't really know what they want to do, how to do it? Is there anything you would suggest, any knowledge you want to share?
I would probably not give the best advice because I'm still learning things out, but my thing is just do it. Literally. I'm not saying that because I'm saying that, but just, like, just do it. I've had a girl actually who started an eyelash business, and she pretty much asked the exact same thing, like, what do I do, blah, 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 blah. It's just, like, study your market. If we're going, like, really technical, study your market. So for me, it's, like, local Winnipeg people. So yeah, study your market, and then no advertising, I guess, and just be passionate.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know what to say anymore, that would actually be helpful. Be passionate. That's my advice.
Well, I mean, you definitely helped drive me into starting this whole podcast.
Oh.
So, definitely wouldn't be doing this and be here if it wasn't for you. The fantastic equipment and the fantastic editing and everything that you do.
Thank you.
You're definitely a significant role in the wpgclark podcast. And why don't you plug yourself in so people really know where to find you and where to find the wonderful Solas gear and everything.
Solas is at Shop Solas Studios. Yes. And then I'm just at Nonanaismyname everywhere. I'm just gonna put it here so it's easier for you guys.
Yeah. You guys should definitely go and check her out. She's
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, tons of great content all around on all socials. And yeah, it's been another great episode. Short and sweet. Perfect for my wonderful girlfriend. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming, supporting 10 episodes, keeping the dream alive. And yeah, we got vlogs coming soon.
Vlogs.
We got some Lost Souls edits that are going to be dropping, I think, on their YouTube. Yeah, I mean, we got a second camera now. Say what up to the second camera. So we're going to be jumping between fisheye and the OG cam. And yeah, so big shout out to everybody, man.
Big shout out to everybody. And if you need editing work,
hit her up.
Nona Ignacy, what you want.
She's definitely looking for that work.
No.
All right, thanks everybody.
Bye.